Cash withdrawals, ATM limits heavy blow on looters, kidnappers, and others. Experts. Welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post hot juicy news updates. Please click on the notification bell. The notification also disclosed that automated teller machines (ATMs) will dispense 200 and downward denominations, and holders of maximum deposit limit will have to pay 5% and 10% respectively as charges. Experts have reacted to the general cash of Nigeria CBN revised policy on cash withdrawals. Economic experts who spoke to Daily Post said the new policy is a heavy blow to looters of government funds, kidnappers, and fraudsters. A breakdown of CBN's revised guidelines on the practical implementation of the Naira redesign policy stated that starting from 9th of January 2023, automated teller machines, ATMs, point of sales, and POS withdrawals will be limited to 20,000 Naira per day. The notification also disclosed that automated teller machines ATM will dispense 200 Naira and downward denominations, and holders of maximum deposit limit will have to pay 5% and 10% respectively as charges. It added that OTC withdrawal would not be more than 100,000 per individual and 500,000 per corporate organization, and third-party checks over 50,000 would not be cleared over the counter. The directive in a letter by CBN's Director of Banking Supervision, Haruna Mustafa, to all deposit money banks, other financial institutions, primary mortgage banks, and microfinance banks on Monday. Speaking to Daily Post in his reaction to this newly released guidelines on cash withdrawals, a dawn of accounting and financial development at Lead City University, Prof. Godwin Oyedokun said only leaders of government treasury would fault the policy. He explained that the policy is not targeted at the poor and may likely not affect rural dwellers. He said, "If I say I don't expect this, I'll be deceiving myself, but the magnitude of cash contraction is shocking. I didn't expect it to be this lower in terms of volume. It is not targeted towards the poor. Nobody should blackmail this initiative because of their self-interest. People that could not afford food and still have 20,000 Naira cash in their pocket, and you still rank them as poor people? The answer is no. Anyone handling 20,000 is no longer lacking in terms of basic needs. I give an example that could not afford food would have 20,000 Naira cash in the pocket. I you still rank them as poor people? The answer is no one if handling 20,000 Naira is no longer lacking in terms of basic needs. Some shenanigans will say, what about people in rural areas? I give it to you that if you go to the so-called rural areas, you will not be there and see anyone without a phone, no matter the quality. In these rural areas, some have more than one phone. When we say poverty level, we're talking about people's inability to have basic needs. It presupposes that they don't have the capacity to have cash of that magnitude. This policy will affect those charged with governance in this country. They have a lot of money to toy with. The policy will reduce the volume of money in circulation and capacity for the rich to spend anyhow. Also, an economic expert, Dr. Boniface Chizie, urged the CBN to carry out mass enlightenment in unbanked areas for effective implementation. He disclosed that the policy will halt random payments in cash by kidnappers and restore sanity to the nation's currency if implemented. He added that the federal government and relevant stakeholders must address the issue of inadequate telecommunications network in some areas. The challenge will be how these policy changes would affect the underbanked, particularly those in outlying areas of the country, because most of such folks have not been included and mainstreamed into the financial sector. There will be the urgent need for the central bank to embark on aggressive critical enlightenment, particularly as most of such compatriots might not have the luxury of using alternative transaction channels. That leaves one wondering how CBN will implement effective monitoring schemes which will be largely automated and electronic. For the restrictions not to be observed in the breach, this one area we can envisage some challenges as this is implemented. Of course, it is axiomatic to note that without enforcement, the laudable objective of this policy will not be realized. There is a need to pay attention so that network issues will be minimized, often as you use your debit card. The sing-song the client could be frustrating. This is the logic behind the maintenance of many bank accounts and the holding of several debit cards by bank customers. One expected that as we fully adopt the 5G network, definite improvement in service experience will be the result. There is no doubt that these measures would push further down the road the desire to make the Nigerian economy truly cashless, and to that extent impact the effectiveness of CBN's money policy fraught. It should deal a heavy blow on criminality, particularly ransom payment, as it becomes increasingly difficult to find cash. And as the awareness gains ground, some flawed individuals among us might be forced to change addresses for better productive engagement. We also expect that as cash is drained from the economy, that might reduce demand pressure for dollars, thereby impacting the exchange naira rate of the naira positively. There is no doubt that there will be negative collateral consequences for those who deal largely in cash. Collections at churches and other prayer places where cash is a medium will be impacted negatively. There are many compatriots engaged in POS tractors that might also be affected, and therefore there will be the inevitable need for adjustment and repositioning. But a word of caution, the enemy is in ineffective implementation. Therefore, to say the obvious, the Central Bank of Nigeria has its job cut out and must be intentional about effective implementation, he said. I love the fact that he came out and said there will be problem. Now, for instance, if you be somebody where you deal in cash, they use cash go buy markets, they use 50, 100,000 naira, and that 50, 100,000 naira no be your money, your business money. You know, there are people like that. Their business money, my business money is not my money. You want me to eat my business money, then I will not be at the ground. The business money now, from there they see my daily 2k. My daily 2k. So what about them? That's what I want to say. So they're going to now revert to transfers. Okay. Let's have this. It is true that anybody who have up to 20,000 in his pocket is not a poor person. As for me, I can't even have up to 5,000 in my pocket for many years now. Not because I don't want to work, but because I'm suffering from kidney problem, and because of these, I cannot do hard work. Wow, we're very sorry about that. Okay. Well, I don't believe the fact that, like I said, a trader might have up to 50,000. Yes, that trader might have up to 50,000, 30,000, 25,000, 20,000 naira. Where should they do overturn for business? You won't classify her as. You won't classify her. She barely eats. Like I said, that 20,000 naira must not be touched. If she touch them, no problem. That is like her capital for the business. Do you understand? They go buy small things so that they can resell them. I know we call them big woman now because she dey sell markets. Don't everybody will pack goods put for shop, save gone, gets the money. Also we know. Okay. Since many of them are feeding on government money, they would not know 20k is no longer money. Exactly. Thank you. Somebody has said something. 20k can show whoa. If you take 20k to the market, I can put you. What am I saying? If you want to buy Christmas things before 20,000 naira will reach you, you go even buy turkey. I did tell you, you go buy turkey, 1 carton of turkey. You go buy your rice, 8,000. You go buy tomatoes and buy oil. I lie, people in the house. Yes, but this one, only rice don't come out. If you want to eat better rice, 50,000, 48,000, 45,000, 40,000. Maybe you even see the 40,000. Then you go come buy tomato. Tomato is almost 5,000 naira per this thing. That is depending on the area we stay. They go come buy granite oil. Never buy spices, so they never buy meat. It is well with us. So, all right. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time.